everybody and welcome to Creativity Time. It has been a while since I've done a live video. Kids' life, school holidays, crafting retreat, all got in the way, but I am thrilled to be here today. I haven't set a regular time. We're just still kind of settling into the new school routine, but we will get there. But I am super excited to be here. My retreat was 2 weeks ago, and while at the retreat, I shared this card online and there was a lot of positive feedback. So thank you so much. I really loved it. And I actually was inspired by a non-Stampin' Up card maker on Instagram whose account I've forgotten right now. So I'll put that in the description once I look them up. And I just thought I'd share with you how I created this rainbow floral set. So for this card, I used the Enduring Beauty bundle. This is a new bundle from Stampin' Up, and it is amazing. I absolutely love it. So it's this stamp set, which is photopolymer. You've got the Enduring Beauty dies, and then you've got the Enduring Beauty masks, which is what I use to color this in. It is so much fun. We did an add-on class with this at the retreat and the ladies all had a blast. So there is 5 masks, but I'm only going to be using the 4 because the 5th is kind of the internal flowers or the inside of the flowers, and that is great for when you are doing it without the stamp, but we will be stamping the floral outline, so it doesn't really matter. And we'll start with that. Okay, so just seeing which way I want to stamp. Yeah, I think, no, I want to stamp. Which way do I want to stamp the flowers? Yes. I'm going to stamp the flowers this way. You don't really have to. I was just trying to stamp it so that the notches are at the top. And I'm going to take a piece of basic white and I'm going to stamp my floral image on that. So I'm going to ink that up. So I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And now I'm going to... I've got a basic white here. It's approximately 1/4 of a sheet, which fits the image perfectly. Making sure it's all there. Perfect. How wonderful is that? Gonna give that a quick clean. And now I'm going to take some Post-it tape and I'm just going to tape down my image. This will just keep it from moving around while we color it in. And then I'm going to, before I start the mask, I'm going to mark it out. So I'm using 4 colors for this. Melon Mambo, Daffodil Delight, Coastal Cabana. I've just realized, is there sound? Yes, there is sound. And then Highland Heather. And I want the colors to blend so that we get a bit of orange between these two, a bit of a greeny, more of a green color, and a bit of a blue color between the Coastal Cabana and Highland Heather. So I'm just going to lightly mark. So this is where I'm going to put the Melon Mambo, then I'm going to put the Daffodil Delight, the Highland Heather there, Daffodil Delight, so that can go more. Because I'm going to die cut this image, you're not going to see my markings. You can use pencil if you want, I just couldn't find one where I wanted when I need one, so I just thought I'd use pen. And now I'm going to take the mask. I'm going to start with the flower mask. So mask number 1. And I'm going to line it up. Take a moment. and then I'm going to also tape it down so that I don't have to press hard, or so that I don't have to try to hold it in place at the same time. And now we're going to start with, I like to start with Daffodil Delight because it's kind of a colour in. So remember, it's going to be pink here, yellow, Coastal Cabana, and purple, or the Highland Heather. So you can write that in to help you know where you are going. So we're going to kind of focus the yellow, or the Daffodil Delight, across this section of the mask. So I'm going to use a blending brush, picking up some ink, and then starting on the mask and then going across. So that was quite a lot of ink straight away, but that's okay. As you can see, that's all there. So I'm going to lift this mask off and give it a quick clean so that it has time to dry between. So I'm going to do each of the masks, so this is number 2, in that colour. I found that that was the best way to get a consistent result. So I'm just taking a moment to line it all up. And the masks are numbered. So this is mask number 2, and I'm going to go through that same section where I had the yellow. You noticed I didn't re-ink my blending brush because I picked up a lot of ink the first time, so I didn't really need to add any more. So layer number 3 now. This one takes a moment to really line up properly, but I find this corner over here is really good to look at, and then over here as well, lining that up with some of the stamping. Awesome. And again, yellow across, and this will deepen that section. So I know it's already on the flowers, so I may even add a little bit of extra ink. You can see I've got the shadowing now where that is, and I'm happy with that. Now you may be wondering why we're doing each colour separately. It's because I found the ink stays on the masks, so you can see I'm cleaning them off, and that remainder of ink on the mask actually blends and carries into spots where I didn't want it. So by doing it this way, we are avoiding any ink being transferred because we're cleaning the mask each time, and we're finishing each colour so that we know that it's complete. So this is the 4th and final layer of yellow, or the Daffodil Delight, should I say. And this one just gave the detail to some of the leaves. And now we're going to move on and do the next colour, but this time we're going to do 2 because they're 2 different spots and they won't mix in. So I'm just reorganizing, grabbing my first mask again and placing it in the correct spot. Okay, so putting Daffodil Delight now. Now I'm going to grab Melon Mambo because it's underneath where the yellow was, and I'm going to grab Coastal Cabana because that's my next colour on the other side of the yellow. So I can work 2 colours this time. And I'm going to add the Melon Mambo and bringing it up over the yellow a little bit, because I want it to blend into a bit of an orange. So if I lift this mask up, you can see we've created a little bit of an orange colour right there, and we'll continue to do that. But before we move this mask completely, I'm going to grab my Coastal Cabana and do the same over here, making sure I'm blending into the yellow because we want that Coastal Cabana to blend with the yellow, and I'm going to bring that up a little bit. I'm going to bring it down into the yellow a little bit more and up there, because that will then blend in with the Highland Heather. Oh no, have we frozen? Nope. Okay, we are back. I don't know if we did freeze. So you can see that that ink, so if I had done the yellow would have spread, and then I would have got orangey tones in spots where I didn't really want to have orangey tones. Or I could be mixing the pink into the Coastal Cabana, which is not what I want, and it gets a little bit dirty. So taking this a little bit of extra time and effort to place each mask, or almost each color, really does is well worth the effort, should I say. Now, place that tape back down, and again, starting with the Melon Mambo and bringing it up over the yellow ever so slightly just there, because we want it to blend with the yellow into a bit of an orange. I'm grabbing Coastal Cabana, blending that. Up a bit. Not too much into these leaves because we want them to really show more of the Highland Heather. So can you see that building? And it's so pretty, so pretty. And I make sure I clean each mask carefully between each usage, just so that it's got a moment to dry while I'm using the other layers, and that way it's all ready to go by the time I want to use it again. So once again, layer number 3, placing it. This one does take that extra moment to find the right spot, but you will be able to see what is the right spot. Just have the patience. Of course, if I had marked where the V would go, the little notch, it would have been just that little bit easier, but that's okay. So Melon Mambo, and that's just on this flower over here and a bit over there where it's orange. And then Coastal Cabana. Adding that across here. And it's hard to see when you do this layer if you're getting the right amount of ink, just because it is a second layer. So it's the details, but if I lift up my mask, I can see that yes, those details have been added in, so I'm very happy with that. So I can remove this mask now. And I've got to admit, it's a lot easier if you do 4 of these at once, meaning that you mask do each mask for 4 different sets of flowers at once. So I took an A4 sheet and I stamped it 4 times, and then I just moved the mask each time, doing the same color and the same mask across each 4, and so that way you can get multiple flowers done all at once. But that does take a little bit of extra time, not too much extra because you're already going, but for the live I didn't want to have you seeing me repetitively doing the same thing 4 times. But there, so once again I'm going to lift that and see if I'm happy with that. A The details aren't showing up right there, so I might just give that a bit more ink right here. Yep, there we go, perfect, and we've got the details in there, so fantastic. And I can now put away Melon Mambo and Coastal Cabana. And we've only got one ink pad left to go. I'll give this clean. Shani might need some more water. Just be delicate around the details of the mask, because you could, particularly on this one and on number 3, you could lift some of the bits, but they do bend into spot again. So final layer, final masking of each one, adding the mask. There we go. And this time taking Highland Heather. Hey Elfie, oh, isn't this set just amazing? I have had so much time, so much fun, should I say, with it. So there's my Highland Heather, and I'm blending it down into the Coastal Cabana a little bit. Gotta say, it's a little dark for my liking, but that's okay. At least it shows up well. And I'm not going to spend time cleaning this mask this time, because this is our last layer. So I'm just going to keep moving on. There we go. Bring that purple in. There we go. Isn't that just... I love colouring these in. It's just so much fun using these masks. Honestly, you would not regret buying these. And you can buy the masks and use them on their own. You won't obviously have the stamp set, but you can add the detail of the center of the flowers using the mask, and then you're all good to go. You can create just floral images using these masks, which is fantastic. I do like combining them with the stamp set though. So I'm just gonna line, this is the final layer. You just need a little bit up here to get a bit more detail into these leaves. Let's see. Fabulous, so pretty. Can now lift up this and give you a closer look. How pretty is that? What do we think? So now we're going to grab our coordinating die, which is this one, the big one, and we're going to die cut out our flowers. And we're also going to die cut some of the double leaves. Ooh. And a single leaf. Thank you, Elfie. From, let's see, the More Dazzle specialty paper. I have been loving using this, so I'm going to die cut the leaves. Some leaves. Hey Joan, thank you for joining me. It is nice to be back. Hopefully I can get a regular time. We've just had so much going on. And I'm still playing catch up, but you know, got to be grateful for being busy. So I'm just adding a bit of that masking post-it tape to the die so that it die cuts, and I'm going to die cut that out. I'm not going to bring the die cutting machine onto screen, but I will get rid of the ink that's sitting right there so that it doesn't get onto our project. See, oh, didn't transfer that very well. But I love adding the more bedazzled paper. It is just, gives it an extra oomph. Go. So there is. Isn't that just so pretty? And now I've got the leaves, which little bits are still stuck in there. So I'm going to just use the Take Your Pick tool. And it takes all the details, little bits out so easily. There is a foam mat somewhere, but I found it a lot quicker and easier just using my hand. It doesn't hurt. And then for any stubborn bits, I use the pointy end of the Take Your Pick tool. Yeah, and then one more. All those bits are out of our way. And just before we start assembling, I am going to take some Wink of Stella. There's my new Wink of Stella. Can't find my new one, so I'll just use this one. I'm going to splatter, so I'm going to squeeze and tap. Oh, getting big drops. And we're going to let that sit and dry. I don't know if you can see that, but if I lift it up to the camera as so, hopefully you're picking up on those. I've definitely got one huge blob here, but that's okay. It's all pretty. And I'm just going to make sure I don't have any Wink of Stella on my glass mat here. Okay, and I thought it'd be fun since, where's my card? There it is. Since this card was made on basic white, I thought it'd be fun to do a bit of a yin and yang thing. So I've now got a basic black card base and card front, just, you know, to mix things up a bit. And I've got the basic front, and that was embossed using the Timber 3D embossing folder. And what I might do, just to get that embossing to stand out a bit, just that tiny bit more, I'm going to grab my basic white ink pad, and I'm lightly going to run it along. There. So, and the craft ink will dry slightly lighter than what it looks right now, but it is just going to help that embossing to pop up a bit. So I'm going to put that to the side to dry. And I do not like to have naked envelopes or naked inside. So we're going to stamp that. I'm going to see if I can be cheeky and see if I can stamp. Yes. Stamp both at once. So I've lined up my envelope and my card insert to be so that I can stamp once. So inking up the stamp again. I might just lower that slightly. And I want to have the stamp on the top left-hand corner of the card front and overflowing onto the envelope. Oh, not the card front, sorry. The envelope. And overflowing onto the envelope flap. And then I want it in the corner, the bottom right corner of my card insert. So Now, if you really wanted to be tricky or clever, you could also colour these. The spot didn't quite stamp out properly, but I might be able to line that up. And it is just the envelope. But there, that's pretty, not accurate, but that's pretty close. So there's my insert and there's my envelope all done. Just give that a wipe. And now we can start assembling. So let's place our card insert and adhere that in. And now adhere the card front. And just because that's an embossed, I've put a bit of glue, extra glue in the middle there, it will kind of all ooze into all the bits. Because there's lots of grooves with this embossing mask, embossing folder. And we might do like a little bit of an opposite. Which way should we do it? Should we put the flowers up here so it's kind of diagonally, or down here? What do we think? I'll give you a moment because I can see that the video isn't caught up. I think I prefer up here. But let me know before I fully commit to that. But I'm going to go with up here. While you're deciding, there's a thumbs up, so I'm guessing we will do a heat embossed, what's that? Sentiment. Oh, losing my words. So I'm just going to grab some basic black. Top, thanks Joan. Using my embossing buddy, and I'll use the same sentiment. I do like that one. Embrace the beauty of you. Yes, top. Okay. There is consensus. Excellent. And now I'm going to use Versamark ink and grab the basic white. So it's a bit of a complete yin yang. Thank you for the love. I've got bits where I don't want them. Hold on. There are bits landed not exactly perfect. I am a perfectionist, so I am going to remove that. And what we're going to do is use the other side of the cardstock. Start again. Is that a good rub and tap the embossing buddy? Move my projects to the side. Give myself a little bit of extra room. Where did I put the stamp? There. There we go, that's much better. There, much happier with that. Close that. And we can heat set that now. Perfect. And in the die set, there is this beautiful, what do we call it? Sentiment die. So I'm going to use that, of course. But I really love this sentiment die. It's so pretty and it's got some beautiful detail to it. So I'm going to quickly die cut that out. Take a look, you can see that there's some dots, details. I really love this die. Wish it came in more sizes. Now, where's that brush? I've lost the brush. That's okay. Let's bring in. Okay, so now I'm going to work out where I'm going to have my flowers. Bit like so, and now I'm going to flip it, and it doesn't matter if I use a pen or a pencil, but I'm just going to mark that. I'm going to keep that there. Oh, there's the brush. Don't know why I thought it was lost. It was right there. Okay, so I've marked where I'm going to approximately trim it off. It doesn't have to be exact. And now I'm going to grab my dimensionals. Now, the reason why I marked it mainly was so that I don't put dimensionals into bits that I'm about to cut off. I'd rather the dimensionals go where they're going to stay. You may think that that's too many dimensionals, but I don't want it to collapse. Lift all those backings off now. And then I'm going to place this back. I'm going to lower that so I can see. And I'm going to go a little bit lower than where my markings were. So there we go. So pretty. And now I'm going to just use some paper snips from behind. It would be good if I take the lid off. So I flip it so that I can see the edge. And that means I get a nice straight cut. So if I cut from the other side, I can't quite see the card edge. By cutting this side, I can see the card edge. And then we're going to add our sentiment right there. So I had it a bit more like that. So the sentiment only needs a dimensional on this side because embossing powder does really get everywhere. Because the other side will be stuck to the flowers where there's already a dimensional. So I'm going to add a bit of glue to this side. And now just for some extra bling, we're going to add those, and they really just set the card off, I think. Finish it off quite nicely. So I like to use glue dots for these kind of things. Place each element on a glue dot, and I can stick it down where I need it. So I'm going to put a set of leaves down here. I think I'll go with a set of leaves. Let's see. Yes, right there. And then just here, or maybe it doesn't really matter. We'll go with there. And there we have. What do you think? Isn't that fun? So you could try other color combinations. You don't have to. I used 4 colors. You could try 3 colors and spread them across. I did them a bit lighter, so I wasn't as heavy-handed in the, what do you call it, in the ink on these ones. And I do prefer that look, but you know, it's still beautiful either way. But that's how I created the Rainbow Enduring Beauty. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Joan. I don't know when I'll have my regular lives, but I will definitely try to go live again next week with another creativity time project in hopes to inspire you. Let me know, are you going to give this technique a try? I would love to hear and I would love to see. Bye for now.